sexuel. Regardez là.
Was also sexual abuse. Look at this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Graphic abuse. They brought there like that. It's a colonization. That's why during the recent French election, one of the candidates said colonization wasn't all bad. We actually brought culture to Africa. Like, it doesn't occur all the bad things that you did. Say no, we brought them civilization and good manners. Look at this example. I actually know that. I knew crazy stuff happened. Literally grabbing on the boobs.
In open daylight, in the middle of the market.
Nobody could say anything. Exactly, in the middle of the market. This white, he had every right to do what he did.
And it was crazy. You have these black feminists who want to talk about toxic masculinity in the African community. And then a lot of them all have white boyfriends, and they refuse to talk about toxic masculinity in the white community.
Abuse,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Abuse of power, basically.
Oh, the cannon. The baby cannon.
Yeah.
The little cannon.
Okay, so we're 725-year-old building.
If you could tell everybody where we're at.
We are at the Museum of Costume History in Grand Bassam.
Okay.
So we are in a 125-year-old building. So I guess built in the 1890s. It used to be, c'était la maison de qui du gouverneur? It used to be the governor's mansion.
Governor's mansion.
Yeah, when Bassam was the capital of Côte d'Ivoire.
Okay.
In the 1890s. So this used to be the governor's mansion.
Okay.
It's now the Museum of Costume History. It became a museum in 1981.
Et le premier résident, il s'appelait Benje.
Oh, the first governor was Benje. There's a city named after him, Benjeville, which was the second capital of the country.
Et quand il passe ici, la Côte d'Ivoire est une colonie française.
So at that time, Côte d'Ivoire was a French colony, 1890s.
La capitale était Grand Bassam.
Grand Bassam was his capital.
Une capitale qui a duré 7 ans.
And it was the capital for 7 years before it moved to Benjeville. Yeah, because of yellow fever, they moved it to Benjeville. And then afterwards, in the 1930s, to Abidjan.
Alors, c'est un musée de costumes. Donc, on va voir le costume, mais déjà, on commence par les photos de l'époque.
So we're going to start with some pictures, historical pictures back in the day.
Colonisation pacifique, regardez comment ça commence. Blanc et noir qui jouent ensemble.
It was colonization, that's how it started. They're saying white and black playing together, but I don't think the blacks are playing. I think they're working.
They're working.
Rewriting history. See, the white came and he was
On
winning.
parle la méthode pacifique. Donc,
So it was a Pacific collaboration at first. That's how they got us into colonization. Saying,
Oh, you guys supposed to work together.
yeah, work together, yeah.
And then they took over. Yeah.
Then they took over.
Alors,
Well, here's games between whites and natives during French occupation.
il y a même des blanc et noir, toujours la bonne collaboration, on apprend le karaté.
So yeah, in that spirit of collaboration, they were doing karate back in the day, black and white.
Maintenant, est-ce que ça a duré longtemps?
See, how long did it actually last? How long did that peaceful collaboration last? We don't know. Probably a couple of years. Then they really meant business, and then it became indentured labor, forced labor. It's what my grandparents actually went through, working for free. So they call it. It's a different name for slavery. Forced labor during colonization. You work in plantation and factories, and all that would go back to France. Free cotton, free whatever, coffee and cocoa. The locals would work for free in those plantations, then you go back to France.
Is it safe to say that they were enslaved? Like,
Yeah, basically, yeah, and it was like whipping and things like that, but it's saying colonization. And it lasted until the 1960s, which is another form of slavery. They not only took people from here, brought them over there, but they came back in the late 1890s came and forced the locals to work for the free resources like latex, coffee, and
Je pense que tu peux faire qui a une duel hier.
parler d'autres choses, me poser des questions.
Je veux dire, ici, c'est la méthode pacifique.
That was specific.
Dans la salle, que spécifiquement, il y a une expliqué certaines choses. Et là, vous voyez qu'on passe de la méthode pacifique à la méthode de répression.
So this is the repressive phase. There was a rebellion in 1901, the locals, but it was quickly squashed by the French army, as you see. The Abbey people in 1910, January 9, 1910, and I actually had to learn it in my history books. It was bloody.
Le peuple avait s'est révolté parce qu'il y avait d'autres méthodes menées par un gouverneur qui s'appelait Goulvent.
When the French governor called Goulvent, that governor moved from Pacific collaboration to harsh methods, the Abbey people started revolting. That's when they sent the army and killed 100. Say about 500 people, 500 indigenous people were killed by the French. I guess they wanted to tell the others not to mess
Now,
with them.
you mentioned that you learned this in your history class here in Ivory Coast.
Yeah, here in Ivory Coast.
Now, people will say that Africans, as far as their history, is very Europeanized. Is that true?
No, we learned about our history, and the French, this revolt was part of our history. History books here, we learned way back to the 1400s from Mansa Musa and all that, the Mali Empire, the Soso Empire, Songhai Empire, and then when it comes to the 1800s, they talk about the white people coming and how some of our locals rebelled against that. It's not completely whitewashed.
And then also too, a lot of people are confused. They don't think colonialization didn't equal. They think colonialization didn't equal slavery, but
It was
so colonization was slavery, just under a different name.
Look at that, the indigenous kids carrying a white man
Et ça,
in a
on passe à la
hammer.
méthode de répression. C'est comme ça que ce monsieur il se déplaçait.
Yeah, this is how they moved around. The indigenous people had to carry him around. The locals had to carry him around like a king, basically. French military officer. And how peaceful was that? You had a human being carrying you around like a baby. He could walk, obviously, using free labor for all types of nonsense activities, like carrying yourself around. The colonization was definitely not peaceful. People are our friends and they brought us culture and refinement. Like, refine without different way. This is barely 100 years ago, so don't tell me nothing about it. So it's not just, even the ones that were here endured white supremacy, the influence of white supremacy. They carried. So the Baoli people had a revolt as well. So they burned their, this is the speaking drum, this is how they communicated.
Justement, ce tambour-là appartient à ce chef.
Oh,
Et avant, quand il tuait un colon, il prend la tête, et puis il met sur son tambour, mais son cousin l'a trahi. Et le cousin dit au blanc, s'il n'arrive pas à bouger son tam-tam, il va toujours résister. Le tambour a été brûlé.
There's a
C'est la
history
place
this
publique.
about this drum that's being burned on the public place. It belonged to a Baoli king that every time he killed a white colonizer, we put his head on his drum, and that king was betrayed by his cousin, who sold him up to white people, and then told them, if you don't burn his drum, his soul will come back and fight you guys because he has spiritual powers. So that's why they burned his drum out. He's the king when they captured him.
So it looks like he was captured by his fellow Africans.
Yeah, those were enlisted to work in the army. They just got in him. And I guess the colonel took a picture of him to show that they captured him. Maybe to show it to the other people. Nano Akafu, that's his name. The chief Nano Akafu, the one that's seated, that's him right there. The shackles. That's the infamous drum where he put the heads of the white people that he killed.
So Africans fought back during
Yeah, they
colonialism.
actually did several revolts. I only know about the Abbey. I didn't know the Baoli actually revolted. So this is the drum with the skulls of the white people that was killed. That would have done his John. That's the one that they burned later on.
Because I know often they really don't talk about how Africans resisted
They did
colonization.
actually.
They don't talk about it a lot.
Because not for nothing, I know my own grandmother. She was born in 1918, but she had issues with white people stemming from that period. Because she was born in her 20s during colonization. She was aware of that, and she was always finding it funny.
Right.
I was like, Grandma, why are you so racist? She's like, there's so much I can tell you about that situation. She's like, don't be fooled by the smiles and all that. She'll never be. Because, yeah, growing up as a modernized African, I had a lot of French friends. I went to a private school where French kids were around. And my parents even worked with over white people. And she never felt comfortable around those people.
But there's also too, like I said, Africans actually resisted and fought back.
They fought back, yeah.
But that's not often told. They won't tell that part of the story.
It's part of it, exactly. Life was all peaceful and it was kumbaya and all that. Samori Toure.
Oh yeah, I know.
And Benji, the governor of Benji, the one that lived here, they met in Sikasso in the north of the country in 1887. So this is a drawing of them, that meeting.
Now, Samori, is he from Mali or is he part of the Mali Empire?
No, it's north of Cote d'Ivoire. Yeah, the border of Mali. Yeah, he's from here.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Sikasso, north of Cote d'Ivoire. Because we studied him in history, as an Ivorian fighter. But back then there were no borders. There in Sikasso in Mali. That was a ceasefire treaty, and then they did an honor hit. And then eventually killed it. I'm like, okay, we got a ceasefire treaty. We're not fighting, and then come back and whoop your ass later.
Oh, so they came back and killed him?
Yeah, you literally killed him, yeah.
Wow.
I don't have anything against white people. Don't think about it. The history needs to be told. They'll tell you we have a ceasefire, we have a treaty, we actually signed a treaty, and then behind your back, they used your brother, sister, or whoever to betray you and kill you.
Well, they don't honor their treaties.
N'a pas été que négatif. Le chemin de fer nous sert encore aujourd'hui.
Ça
a été fait sous
It wasn't all bad during colonization. It's like this is the railroad being built. Say we still use it to this day, so it wasn't necessarily bad because we got infrastructure from them. Like say fuck infrastructure. Look at how they did it manually by hand. No heavy machinery. It's just while the black people doing it, then see the white standing there with their hands on their hips. But look at it. And it's a 1,000-kilometer railroad built by hand. Okay. So it's forced labor. We learn about travail force. It's what I call it. It's what they call it, forced labor. But to me, it's slavery.
Slavery.
You have to do the work. If you don't, you're gonna get whipped and may even be in prison. And if you resist or rebel, even put you in jail or put you in shackles, just make you understand that you have to do what they say. So another example of forced labor, this is taking down a tree by hand. Look at how wide that tree is.
Huge tree.
Those people have to do it by hand under the watchful eye of the white.
Cette photo montre que nous étions acteurs, nous Ivoiriens, nous Africains, nous les Noirs. Regardez. Aider les colons dans les besognes.
Okay, saying that some of locals helped the colonizer in the dirty work of oppressing the locals. So see some black people that are listed in the army next to the white guys, the dogs and all that. That was the market in 1905. Was also sexual abuse. Look at this.
Wow.
Graphic boost birthday like that. It's a colonization. That's why during the recent French election, one of the candidates say colonization wasn't all bad. We actually brought culture to Africa. Like, it doesn't account all the bad things that you did. Say no, we brought them civilization and good manners. Like, look at this example. I think I actually know that. I knew crazy stuff happened. Literally grabbing on the boobs.
In open daylight, in the middle of the market.
Nobody could say anything. Exactly, in the middle of the market. This white, he had every right to do what he did.
And it was crazy. You have these black feminists who want to talk about toxic masculinity in the African community. And then a lot of them all have white boyfriends, and they refuse to talk about toxic masculinity in the white community. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Abuse the power, basically.
Ça, ça veut dire, tu sais, pour vous dire qu'on va entrer dans la salle.
This kente or no?
Yeah, no, that's not kinte. C'est quel pain? Ça, c'est les pains. C'est pas pain baoulé.
Non.
C'est du
pain
kitablé.
baoulé. Ça, c'est le pain baoulé. Ça, c'est un pain xénophobe. Ça, c'est un pain yoruba. C'est un pain gouro. Pour vous dire quoi? C'est un métier qu'on retrouve dans les 4 aires culturelles de Côte d'Ivoire.
So it's not kente. It's